I'm gonna see if I can sell this thing. And I think I told you how it started.
These guys are having a nice conversation on here. I figured I'd share it with you guys while I build my tuner. I'm gonna let it run for a bit and go inside and check on everybody. Come back out here, do some soldering, get some more coffee.
Then I started in my garage making those things. And
Make sure you turn this up so you guys.
CB antenna. I think it's $600-700 or something like that. A lot of money back then. And all of a sudden, I started getting orders in the mailbox. Yeah, here comes it, and then it became really a thrill. Getting money and checks in the mailbox, and you know what happened afterwards. So that's the way the world works.
From humble beginnings. And I actually was talking last week with Danny and a bunch of the guys up there, and Ken came on, and he was kind of your competitor in those 160 contests. November 6th, Radio Oscar, 6RO, Ken. And he was telling the guys he had an old Wilson 40-meter beam that he had taken down years ago, and he still had all of the parts for it and everything, and it sounded like pretty interesting that he still had one of them.
Oh yeah, there's still guys using those things, and my towers, I made the towers, and there's a lot of people still using those towers after 50, 60 years, and some of the antennas also. So that sounds kind of neat, kind of fun.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hogging it here, but yeah, John, did you ever have any of the Wilson antennas?
Just the mobile. I was a Wilson distributor for 15 years.
You made me a lot of money.
Yeah, they doubled back on their word. First you had to be only one distributor in 50 miles or something like that. Then they made it 20. And seemed like everybody was selling.
Yeah, I had probably already sold it out. I sold that company out. Just the CB antennas. I sold it to another company, and then they sold it to another company, but they're still on the shelf. But most of them, that right at the beginning, I don't know when they were nasty to you, but I hope it wasn't when I owned it.
Yeah.
They're still selling those things on a lot of different places. It's still selling that same antenna, those same antennas. And back there was in the early 80s, I invented all those antennas. And I went down to Lockheed and I had them tested out. And they were better than all the other ones. And so I got a certificate from of Lockheed. And anyway, that's how I started those particular mobile antennas. And then I started selling those, and they're still selling them after 40 years. It's pretty amazing, the same antennas.
Yeah, I broke my last one here the other day. I'm going to go with the Striker antenna this next time. Hopefully that metal top doesn't break off the top of the load area like the Wilsons did. But they claim that NASA did the inventing on Wilson.
I did it all, and then I had it all certified by Lockheed. They did all the certification on it. So whoever you talk to, they're full of shit. I guess it was a period of time in which there was not a lot
lot of certification or testing companies, but why go to Lockheed?
Lockheed had all of the capabilities to do that, and so anyway, I knew people at Lockheed, and so their certifications like gold, and that's why I went there.
Now, I thoroughly understand that. Thoroughly understand that. Because I've gone through a lot of FCC compliance testing. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, when I did a lot of work on the cell phone. What do you call them? The ones I can't. On the cell phone devices that improve your signal into your car, and now we spent a huge amount of money building those things and certifying them, and so so we did a lot of certification on that stuff.
Yeah, some of my first experience was back in the early 70s, and there was a ham radio operator that was working for a company that figured out that he could make a few bucks extra and above and beyond, and started a company for certification for FCC and a number of different things, and looked into him, and I seem to have a picture of me back about 50 years ago out in one of the field test environments, and I went from there. Met his sons, and I haven't seen them in a number of years. Certainly because I moved out of the area, but went back to them for qualifications for equipment that went on board a commercial aircraft for certification. And I can understand that and appreciate all of what you probably have gone through.
Oh yeah. Over the years, See, I got started let's see, 68 or something when I first started, and I went through a lot of different companies and different products and everything, and a lot of certification from the FCC on a lot of stuff, and there's just a lot of red tape out there.
Jason, this is Kilo Juliet 6 Kilo Hotel Victor. I got a question. Do you remember a man named Joe Banos?
Absolutely. He's a great friend of mine. He worked for me for many, many years.
Yeah, I used to take care of his airplanes. I used to manage Borrego Springs Airport, assistant manage, and at the same time I would take care of his airplanes. And he had good stories. And thank you for building all these great products.
Well, thank you. A lot of fun. Joe came to me, worked for me back in I think 75 or something. He flew jets, Navy jets, he got tired of it. He said too dangerous. He said because the electronics, they were flying those and very close to the ground, and the electronics weren't very good on it. Being an electrical engineer, he said so he resigned because they go and flip and drive right into the ground. So Joe's a great guy, and he worked for me all the way till he worked for me all the way till about 10 years ago. Go ahead.
Well, it's nice to meet you. My name's Brett Helm, and no, you got some great stories, and I believe them. It's nice to talk to you.
Yeah, it's on all history and everything. Yeah, all the water under the bridge, and it's yeah, a lot of fun. And now I got Alzheimer's, and it's time to die now. So you got to laugh about it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you can, and no, I admire you, and I got a Wilson sitting on top of the house, and anyway, I tune it for 10, and I have a good time. I talk to the Australians on it all the time.
Yeah, so, some of them are really lasting a long time. I get inquiries about, do you have the information on the what the dimensions and everything, and some of the antennas are 40 years old, so you know that they're doing a good job out there. Anyway, I paused it here. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I have not a lot to add. We talk about everything when I get down there as a visit. We won't have anything left, but yeah, it's all good, interesting history. And I did have one other question. You remember when you were trying to find one of those rotors that came up on eBay? Did you ever buy that old Wilson rotator that was listed on wherever? I think somebody found it and told you about it, and I thought you were going to get that for your collection. Did you ever get that?
Yeah, that was the Wilson 1000, a really big rotor, and it was on eBay, and I bought it. I also bought a couple of other things that I didn't have in my collection, but yeah, I sure did. I got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buck out of here.
Controller, and it was
Good
actually
evening,
functional.
everybody. N6NTM, good conversation.
Yeah, 73. See ya.
73, John?
All right, John, 73s, man, take it easy. I'm going to bug out too. KJ6, VJN, I will hear you all if you're out there on Wednesday or Thursday night.
Okay, good night, Dennis. Don't work too hard.
Great point. Hey, Jim, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Yeah, do you know of an outfit for RFI EMC qualifications by the name of DNB Engineering?
No, I don't. I got out of the business 10 years ago. All of that type of business 10 years ago. But there's also so many companies that are involved in that kind of stuff, especially all of the rules and regulations on the new cell phone applications. And so there's just a lot of companies that do that. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate your comments, and I thank you for the feedback. DNB Engineering was founded by an amateur radio operator back in the 70s, and Al Broadus, the founder, put stuff together and did what he needed to do. How should I say? And this one is something that I needed to test and qualify. And that was solely reason for the question. He's gone at this point. He's managed a radio operator at CAF and has his sons running the business. So I thought I'd ask you a question.
Yeah. There's so many companies, and there's a big necessity for all these companies that are doing the technical work. And I sold the company back in 10 years ago. And now I just sit around home and twiddle my thumbs. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. I can appreciate your point in life. I'm right there behind you. How should I say? Yeah, in age. But D&D engineering did a heck of a lot of stuff for things that were coming out of my Folsom and military stuff. And Al Broadus, I met him. I met his family, and they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, those people are a real necessity in order to certify all of those situations for the FCC. And yeah, back when I first got started there, making handy talkies and stuff like that. They didn't have all that red tape back then, and it was really pretty. There wasn't that much going on, but now with the communications like it is today, and the complexity of everything, it's pretty mind-boggling.
Yeah, a lot of red tape. Anywho, where are we at? 2310 according to the ring dial, and I think I'm going to bow out of here.
Okay, Mike, well, have a good night.
Kilo Hotel Victor.
What was the other comment out there on the side?
Oh, I was just throwing my call sign out.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask the station that built all the Wilson equipment for his call sign. I just wanted to look it up, and I was going to call Joe and tell him I talked to you.
Okay, yeah. Just a minute here. What were you asking of me again? Go ahead.
Just for your call sign. I wanted to look you up and then call Joe and tell him I talked to you. This is fun for me.
Okay, yeah, you have to give me some. I do have Alzheimer's disease, and the memory thing is so short that if you ask me a question, and I'll forget it in 5 minutes, in 5 seconds sometimes. Sometimes it's okay. Yeah, so you have the number for Joe?
Yeah, I actually do. I talked to him quite a bit over the years. And what was your name?
Yeah, Jim Wilson.
No way.
Yeah, it's the M7JW, November 7JW.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, I got the number for Joe. Yeah, he lives. He has a house very close to mine here, but he also works down in San Diego. And anyway, so yeah, he comes up all the time, and we go out and chase the girls. Well, I don't think so anymore, but anyway, yeah. So again, okay, is that enough information for you?
My God, this is the world's slowest
And
train.
I'm going to call him in the morning and say hi and tell him that I talked to you. And it's a real pleasure for me. He told me some of the things that you guys built, and thank you.
Sure, yeah. He's a great guy, and he still has his airplane. We fly in between here and San Diego, and he lives over there in San Diego, and then a house over here. So he's still I think he's about 7 or 8 years younger than I am, but he's getting up there now. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but the best pilots are older, and yeah, doesn't he live in southern Utah and then also in Borrego Springs?
Yeah, well, he lives over here, and then he also has a house over there near on the other side of the mountains of San Diego, probably 50 miles.
Oh yeah, he's out of Julian and he flies into Borrego, and you're out of St. George, I believe.
Yeah, I'm in St. George, right?
Well, it's really a pleasure for me to talk to you, and thank you for building all this neat stuff.
Well, Joe and I had more fun than we probably should have had. Yeah, and over the years, yeah, he went to work for me in I think it was 75, and then he did some of his own things for a while and over there, and then he went to work for me about 15 years ago again, and now he's over there in San Diego doing things. So anyway, tell him, say hi to him, and and tell him to get his butt over here pretty soon.
Copy, will do. And yeah, I think some of your last projects were like cell phone boosters.
Yeah, that's right. It got to be really a big operation, and in fact, I sold it to one company, and then they just sold to another company. Got sold to another company. One of these companies that acquire other companies, and so it is now owned by a $1 billion company.
Wow, what a crazy evolution! And yeah, wow, what a wild time.
Yep. Now Joe's time's about run out, and my time. So maybe we need to sit back and drink tequila or something like that.
Well, I'm glad you're out here tonight, and I hope you come back. I monitor this a lot. Jonathan's helped me with my audio, and the other guys are very fun to talk to. So I hope to hear you again. This is Kilo Julia 6, Kilo Hotel Victor Brett in Valley Center, northern San Diego.
Real good, Brad. Tell Joe about me, and get his butt over here. So see you later. Thank you.
KG7HR.
I'm going to call him in the morning and tell him exactly that.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, Jonathan?
No, this is David, N06M, but I was just up at Jonathan's. His wife threw a surprise birthday party for him for his 80th birthday. I just got back before I got on the radio, and all his kids showed up, relatives, neighbors. There's about 26, 28 people there. We had a big feast, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, David, I apologize. I get you and Jonathan mixed up quite a bit. I guess my ears aren't what they used to be. I used to race Baja, and I don't hear as well as I used to. But no, I've heard you out here for a long time, and it's a pleasure to talk to you as well.
Yeah, and in Jim's defense, he doesn't just sit around and twiddle his thumbs. The last time I was over there for a visit, it was a first for me. We did some EME, bounced some signals off the moon there. Well, I guess maybe I've been over there once since then, but did you still have that stuff on the air there, Jim, the EME station?
No, I put all that up, since I got this disease. It's too complicated for me now, so it's all put away.
Moon bounce is
Well, it was
awesome.
too complicated for me when we were there, but it worked, and I was impressed. It's not my cup of tea doing so much of the digital stuff. It's old school, I guess, but it was fun, and we got all the good breaks. We got the perfect moon, and the little setup you had with your phone to sight in on the moon was pretty clever too, I thought. You had made a remote camera set up there so we could point it out that way. But I did think about that, and I thought, well, he's got the whole garage tied up with all these tables of stuff. I wonder what Carmen thinks of that.
Yeah, she probably said, whoopee, I got rid of him.
David, are you by those guys? Are you in the southern Utah area?
No, actually, I'm on the Russian River, near Guerneville at Corbell Winery. Jonathan's my neighbor up on top of the hill. I'm in the canyon below him. And, but Paula is from Nevada, and her parents retired out to Mesquite, which is only about 30 miles from Jim's. And so we had a second home there for quite a long time. We did sell it about a year ago in October. But when I'm down there visiting, I always tried to squeeze in a visit with Jim. And, you know, it used to be we'd go to lunch and then he'd show me all the sights. And most of what I know about St. George, I learned from Jim.
Wow. So you're in Kernville area?
Yeah, I'm actually right behind the Corbell Winery.
Oh, wow.
Do you know man Dickie Blumgart?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get in here.
That name's awful familiar. I'd have to ask Paula. She knows more people. She's more social than I am.
He just did all the paving. When he got back from World War II, he did all the paving in the Lake Isabella area and Kernville, and he was pretty popular. He just passed away last year. He's 94, and a very neat man.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but like I said, I'll ask Paula because I've been back here 26 years, but she moved from Vegas when it hit. Jim will appreciate this. When it hit 240,000, she said, "This is just ridiculously too crowded. I'm leaving," and she moved over here to the coast in 1988, I believe, 87 or 88. And so we go down there multiple times a year to visit her parents, so much so that that's why we bought a second home there, to have a place to stay near them. But her father passed. Her mom's in a assisted living home there in the town of Mesquite. And we'll actually be going down for her birthday's December 7th. So I've been planning on getting a visit in with Jim while I'm down there. The girls all sit around and they have their little sewing circle. It bores me to death. So Jim and I can have a lot more fun talking radios and stuff. He's going to save me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's nice to talk to you, and it's a pleasure to hear Jim out here. Anyway, I know the warden's going to come get me in a minute. So, anyway, nice to talk to you guys. Kilo Juliet 6, Kilo Hotel Victor, Northern San Diego.
Yeah, real good, Brad. Anyway, thanks for telling me about Joe there, and tell him to get over here. And anyway, what was I going to say? I lost my thoughts there. Anyway, Jonathan, go ahead.
Okay, well, it's getting late, Jim, and I'm going to kind of pull out of here and say 73 to Brett, and look forward to the next time. And I'll probably talk to you before we leave. It's still a week and a few days away. But in any case, if we lose touch, I'll phone you when I get down there and let you know I'm in the area and hone in a more specific time for our visit. So with that, I'm going to let you tie the ribbon on it, and I'm going to say 73 and call it a night. NO6M.
NO6M. And Brad, I forgot to write Brad's number license here, but anyway, real good, Brad, and I'll be glad to do definitely call I lose it. I got problems. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll see you later.
KG7HR.
Gosh. Good night all. You did a really good job. 77 MCC, Carson City.
Yeah, and good night, Mike.
Thank you.
Hey, Jim, I just wanted to say hello from Arizona. This is Kilo Golf 7, Hotel Victor Romeo.
Okay, give me the call again.
It's Kilo Golf 7 Hotel Victor Romeo, and I appreciate the Wilson 1000 on the roof of my truck, buddy.
20 over here in Carson.
Yeah. Yeah, real good. KG7HVR. And what's the name again?
Name here is Bram. Bram, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Bravo Romeo Alpha Mike. And we're over here in Prescott Valley, Arizona.
Oh, real good, yeah. Anyway, which one do you have? Go ahead.
I've got a magnet mount, the 1000 that screws on the top, and I use it on 10 meters. And then I've got another one that I picked up at a thrift store just to have it in case.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I don't know if you heard the story. The way that had started was, you ever hear of K40?
Yeah, I got one. I don't like it.
Yeah, K40 was king over there. This was back in the about 1980, something like that. And the antenna didn't, it wasn't built very well, a lot of losses and everything. And they started advertising, using testimonials from people, how good this great, and they were doing fantastic business. And so I had a couple of them tested out, and they really, very lossy. They lost about 3 dB, which half your power. And so anyway, I went over to Lockheed, and we made one here that was really very almost no losses at all. And anyway, we built that thing and had the tests were certified by Lockheed, and so I went ahead and put it on the market. Put the antenna on the market, and a lot of advertising, and it turned out to be a fantastic product, and the K40 just about disappeared. So, but that product has gone on now for just about 40 years. It's a pretty neat that a product like that lasts that long. Go ahead.
Yeah, is there like a matching capacitor or anything in the coil in there? I've never taken one apart.
No, there's no necessity in there. You just go with the 50 ohm coax, and your everything in there is you don't need any capacitors in there. And the antenna and everything is what do I say? Is fixed just with the inductor and with the inductor in the right place, and no problems where you start losing a lot of the power, et cetera. So anyway, those things have. I don't know how many, but I would say, all the years like that, and millions and millions of dollars for those things.
Well, I've used a lot of antennas, and that is just like one of the best ones I've ever just been able to put on the roof of a vehicle and use. And sometimes I'll take it off, and I do a lot of portable work, and I'll screw a piece of coax to the mag mount and then run a ham stick to that in the back of the truck. And then I can just have it still hooked to my radio without having to screw around, and it's really convenient.
Yeah. Anyway, that was generated on my kitchen table there back in the early 70s. Amazing to have a product that run that length of time. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, I'm glad it works for you, and I don't know how the CB market is going nowadays. I just haven't paid any attention, but as long as we have truck drivers, I imagine we're going to have CB. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think they use them very much anymore. I don't even bother to monitor anymore. I drive around and talk on 10 meters, and then I'll use the antenna to listen on 40 and 80 and 20. And but I mean, I've driven all over the place, and I just don't really hear anybody out here using it. But Yeah, I'm 47 years old, so I was a little kid, if not even born yet, when you came up with that design.
Yeah. Oh, time goes by so fast. Yeah. Obviously, there's still all the truck stops in the nation handle those. Just about all of them handle those same antennas. So there must be a lot of they're still great for the truckers because if there's an accident or something like that, they're probably and they need to talk to one truck or another. That's probably where the need is. Because you can't talk to the trucker down the road because you don't know the number. So I think that's what's holding it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that since 2020 have taken up CB radio as a hobby. So I think sales are probably going up.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I'm getting too old to do anything. I'm trying to think, what should I do now? I'm just sitting around doing nothing. Go ahead.
Well, you get on the radio and you talk and you have great conversations. And I was sitting here, I'm building an automatic antenna tuner I ordered off of Amazon, and I was listening like I often do. And I said, wait a minute, that's Jim Wilson. Oh my God, I've got to talk to him. So here I am talking to you.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's just been a lot of fun years and a lot of the CB was so. Remember on Smokey and the Bandit, the movies on CB?
Oh yeah. Well, and see, I grew up in the '80s when it was kind of fading, but I bought a little CB radio from the neighbor, and I tried to figure out how to make it work off of a wall adapter and some wire. And then I figured out that wasn't going to work, and so I learned more and more. But, we used to talk on the CB radio when we were kids, and there was other kids on the CB radio, and we met other people in our neighborhood, and it's just not like that today. It's sad. But, that's what got me into amateur radio and everything like that,
Yeah, I noticed it too, that the activity on the bands is not like it used to be. But you have to expect that because there's so many other things to do now. And back when I was a kid, when I got my license in 1954, that was really cool to be able to, to communicate with other people. And so there was quite a influx of new hams back there in the 50s and the 60s, and it was right after the war too. And but now there's so many things to choose from. But anyway, I do hear some CW operation going now and then, and so at least it's staying alive. Yeah. Anyway, I got to go here, and Bram and David. David's probably gone. So anyway, I'm going to pull the plug here, Bram.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you, and we'll listen for you on here again. I get on here and listen every night while I'm working on stuff. I talk to David and those guys every once in a while, and I used to talk to Stan when he was on here. So it's been great, and just really nice to meet somebody like you on ham radio. It's awesome. Thanks, and have a great night. KG7HVR.
Yeah, real good, Bram. Anyway, thanks for the show. Catch you again, hopefully, in 7JW.
Yeah, good night, Jim. And Bram, I did stick around because I just noticed in my log, it's been a year since you and I talked, so good to hear you again. And I'm going to leave it at that and call it a night. 73 NO6M.
All right, David. Well, stay warm over there. It's getting chilly here. We're going to hit 22 tonight, I think.
Yeah, we were 30 last night, so I'm picturing maybe 28, 29 tonight. But winter's on us.
Yeah, 26 here.
Anyway, night, guys. NO6M, I'll be clear.
See you later.
cool is that? That is awesome.